Okay, so now here's the tricky part, right? How much should you be paying for a logo? And I know this is a question that a lot of businesses want to know. And you go online and you try and get quotes for different people, but what is the value of the logo? Well, it's very simple. The logo's value is determined by how many touch points it's going to be exposed to. So the higher the risk of the logo going wrong, the more expensive the logo should be. Hey guys, welcome to the Candy.co brand consulting YouTube channel. And on this channel, I actually want to reveal some of the secrets. I want to give you access to some of the things that I speak to clients about. And I'm hoping that you'll take some of this stuff and apply it in your business, that you'll go from just envisioning this dream business to actually making it a reality. So I'm going to give away some tips, some guides, some advice, and I'm hoping that you'll take it and that you'll apply it and that it will not only serve you, but it will serve your friends and your family and ultimately create this generational wealth that we're all fighting so hard for. So today I want to talk about the logo, right? A lot of people think that your logo is your brand, and that is not correct. Yes, your logo is part of your brand, but your brand isn't your logo. Let me explain. So the purpose of your logo is to identify your company, not to explain it. So as a person, when I see your logo, I need to start thinking about your brand, but your logo doesn't necessarily have to explain everything that your company does. This is the mistake that a lot of people make when they go to a designer like a freelancer or an agency. They expect this logo to do all the heavy lifting for them when actually your brand is what explains who you are, what you do, why you do it, and why it's so important to you. All that is covered in the branding aspects of your business, but the logo simply identifies your company and then it connects you and the consumer together through this icon. So when people see that icon, when they see that logo, when they see that text, whatever your logo looks like, then they start to think about the brand. So let me give you an example. If you think of McDonald's, right? Let's say you're driving down the road. Maybe you're on, I don't know where you live, but let's just say you're driving down the road and you see that big M with the yellow, right? Maybe you're driving at night and you can see it glowing. When you see it, the thing that you start to think about is fries. You start to think about the Big Mac, the McFeast, and all these other things, because what that logo has done is it's trained your brain to think of the brand once you've seen the logo. But the problem is a lot of people just want this logo to do all the branding work, but the point and the purpose of your logo is not to do the branding. It's to link your branding to the customer, so that when the customer sees your logo, they think about your branding. If you're trying to make your logo do all the hard work, please stop wasting your time. Please stop trying to design a logo that has all this text, all these different icons, and all these different things laid on top of each other until your logo actually looks like a picture. That's not the point. It's supposed to be this icon, this special and significant icon that helps people think about your brand. That's it. That's the whole purpose of your logo. So please save your time, save your effort by not trying to make your logo do things that it's not supposed to do. And let me give you an example, like just to make you feel better about your logo design journey. If you know Phil Knight, if you guys are familiar with Nike, Nike is owned and founded by Phil Knight. Well, it's a public company now, but when it was started by Phil Knight. Listen to this. This was his reaction when he first saw the swoosh logo. Now, you know the logo that you're all familiar with? This was his reaction. He said, "Well, I don't like it, but maybe it'll grow on me." That the logo that you're wearing right now, if you're wearing Nike, the founder of Nike didn't like the logo. He's like, "Well, I don't like it, but maybe it'll grow on me." The logo that we now want to be associated with, this logo that is associated with excellence and with being number one and being the best in the world, the owner didn't actually like it. But if you think about it, when you see that swoosh, irrespective of it being on clothing, on a billboard, on shoes, you know exactly what it represents. And because you want to be associated with what it represents, you then gravitate towards the brand. So do you see how simple that thing is? You could probably draw it with a pencil, right? But the purpose of it is not to explain, it is to identify the company. So I want to encourage you, if you're starting a company now, or if you're rebranding, forget about trying to make your logo do a million things. That's not the purpose of it. Let the logo help people identify your company and not explain. Okay, so now here's the tricky part, right? How much should you be paying for a logo? And I know this is a question that a lot of businesses want to know. And you go online and you try and get quotes for different people, but what is the value of the logo? Well, it's very simple. The logo's value is determined by how many touch points it's going to be exposed to. So the higher the risk of the logo going wrong, the more expensive the logo should be. Please hear what I'm saying. So let's say, for example, you have a big company and you probably have a big budget to do social media work and a big budget to do above the line advertising, and you have a big budget to do, for example, print. If this logo will be on all of those platforms, there should probably be a little bit more thought and effort that goes into this, right? So if you're a company, you want to obviously give that assignment and that responsibility to a company that will do all the necessary research to make sure that in the future there are no issues associated with this logo. Because if there's issues, there's going to be costs associated with this logo. So rather pay more to make sure that somebody does the right job than pay less and find yourself actually experiencing losses and costs in other areas. But for somebody else, if your logo is simply a means to identify your company and your company isn't doing anything that exposes you to a great amount of people, then you can probably pay less for a logo. But it also depends on the designer, because some designers have big overhead costs. Some designers have big companies, and obviously they can only fit in a specific amount of work per month, so their price will be a lot higher than somebody, for example, who's working from home, somebody who's doing it as a hobby or a side hustle. Their prices will probably be cheaper than the person who's doing it as a fully fledged company. But also bear in mind that if a designer has more experience, if he has more expertise, and if he has a background in branding and he knows what certain colors do to certain people and what kind of like emotions are evoked with certain fonts and colors and layouts, that person's going to charge you also for their knowledge and not just the skill of compiling fonts and icons. This person's actually going to charge you for their knowledge as well. So some people charge more for their knowledge. I know for myself, because I have brand strategy experience, when I design your logo, all of those things are already incorporated into the logo design process. So my logos are not going to be cheap. But maybe somebody who's just finished doing a course on designing and graphics, he might charge you like 1,000 Rand, because he knows that his work is new. He knows that he doesn't have necessarily all the knowledge and the experience, so his prices will probably be lower than somebody like me and Candy.co or any other agency that has a lot more skin in the game, that is working with a bunch of people and whose overheads are a lot higher. So also think about the designer and the fact that they're running a business as well, because their business model will determine the price, and the experience and the expertise will also determine the price as well. So whoever is the least riskiest person, that's the person that you should be hiring, because the person who's the least risky is less likely to mess up your business, is less likely to cost you money and to ruin your reputation amongst the community, amongst your consumers, and if you're big enough, even the world. Yep, so that's it for today's video with the logos. If you have any questions, please feel free to drop them in the comments. I'm looking forward to coming back here and doing another video. This is not the end of it when it comes to logos, but if you do have a question regarding logos, please feel free to drop it in the comments below. We love you guys. I hope you have a wonderful day. Go out there and build the business of your dreams, and just know that we are here to help you and to back you so that everything that you see in your head becomes a reality. God bless you.